Look at that thing. Look at what is wrong with you. Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome to the vlog. It's been a while since I kind of showed you guys around BHB a little bit. And what I mean by that is you guys see a lot of animals, you see me collecting eggs, you see me doing all kinds of things. But for the viewers that haven't been around for a while, they may think, how is that building actually set up? So I figure I'll give you a tour today of kind of how the entire building is set up and what we do here at BHB Reptiles. I hope that the start of your day is amazing. It is absolutely gorgeous outside. I am going to go ahead and show you what's going on here at BHB. Let's start with the Colubrid Room, which is basically this room right here, which is, what is a Colubrid Snake? A Colubrid Snake is a family of snakes that are not boas and pythons. There are colubrids that are all over the world, and we love colubrid snakes. That's really how I got started. And there's all kinds of variety of colubrid snakes: corn snakes, king snakes, rat snakes, milk snakes, things like this Rhino Rat Snake. Ooh, she's a little sketchy too. This girl just laid eggs recently, and you can see she's a little bit more fired up than normal. Usually these guys are super docile animals, but gosh, look at how gorgeous that snake is. So this whole side over here to this side are adult colubrid snakes. And of course, it is breeding season. I've been pooling lots and lots of eggs lately. This girl is about to lay a clutch of eggs. Let's see if she's got anything out yet. Nope, nothing yet, but that's an albino high white, black and white cow king. Of course, we have garter snakes, like this beautiful animal here, which is a live bearing animal that's about to have babies any day, and that's gonna be so excited. And take a look at this cheeky monkey right here. This thing wants to eat my finger here. That is a Mexican black king snake. Get in there, sweetheart. Whoa, oh, come on. Come on, you're okay. You're okay, get in there. Oh, come on. Oh. Look at that. Oh, come on. Woo. Woo. Look at that. Woo. Oh. Woo. That's a feisty little monkey right there. Again, it's just hungry. It laid eggs recently. It's putting a lot of food on, and that's what it is. So, egg production season, Colubrid Room, that's what this is all about. And of course, these racks here are some of our leftover baby snakes that we've had from last year. Just things like little corn snakes, like this cute little guy right here. Look at how cute it is. And again, we don't have a whole lot left from last year, but we're gonna be hatching anytime. And that's what this whole wall here. And of course, the other racks on the other side are gonna be baby snakes. But it's not just about colubrids up in this room, it's also about leopard geckos. But before we talk about leopard geckos, let me just show you a handful of colubrid snakes that we're raising up that will probably be breeders next season, not this season. Of course, we're going to start with this, we're going to start with this little crazy monkey here. What is wrong with you? This is a this is a scaleless Texas rat snake. And man, it is fired up, but take a look at how gorgeous that snake is. I mean, that is one beautiful snake, isn't it? And it's got quite the attitude, too. Look at that thing. Look at what is wrong with you. Oh, what is going on? I'm going to go ahead and put this one down because it is absolutely out of control, but you can see how beautiful it is. We're always trying to really improve that scaleless Texas rat snake line by raising up the most beautiful animals. Probably on a normal year, we'll keep between 100 and 200 colubrid snakes just for future breeders. This happens to be a Hypo, Apricot, Pueblan milk snake. Take a look at how gorgeous that is. And again, hypomelanism in Pueblans are a recessive mutation, and it just turns that really black, which would be this color right here, and it turns it into just kind of more of a brown. And as a baby, it almost looks more purple. Absolutely gorgeous animals. This is another really cool snake here. This is actually a Leucistic Texas rat, but it's a pink-eyed Leucistic Texas rat. So most of the Texas rat snakes have black eyes, but this one, as you can see, is albino eyes, which is really cool. Used to see these around a lot, say 15 or 20 years ago. You hardly ever see them around now. So that's why when we hatched some last year, we decided to keep some back because they're just absolutely gorgeous. This is a really cool snake here. This is a ghost Sun-Cryst Motley corn snake. Take a look at that guy right there. That is really cool. Now the Motley is that crazy pattern on the back, and then the Ghost is actually a Hypo and Leucistic, and then the Sun-Cryst is a recessive mutation. So that's a lot going on here. 4 recessive genes going on in that one corn snake. That's hard to get 4 recessives in any snake, but that one certainly is. And then of course I showed you guys this animal recently, but I just figured I'd show you again. This is a gray-banded king snake. Take a look at how amazing these animals are. And it is my obsession this year to get more gray-banded king snakes. I mean, gray bands are something I used to work with a ton a long time ago, and I got rid of almost all my colony because they're a little bit tricky to get to eat as babies, and I had so many animals at the time I couldn't really devote the time. Now that we have a smaller collection, I can devote the time to babies. I want to get back into gray-banded king snakes, but ooh, that thing is amazing. So anyways, off to geckos. So of course the animal that shares this room with the Colubrid snakes are the geckos that I told you I work with, and these are all our leopard geckos here. Take a look at how beautiful those things are, and we have a really nice group of leopard geckos. We've been growing that group for the last 4 or 5 years, and man, these guys are absolutely incredible. I'm so excited about our production this year because we have a lot of really cool ones that are up to size that are the first time breeders, and we should be hatching some crazy cool babies. But how cool is that? So basically that's our main room. When you first come into the building, we've got our colubrids and our leopard geckos, and things are about to heat up because we're about to start hatching colubrid snakes and we're about to hatch geckos. So there's going to be baby explosion here at BHB Reptiles. Okay, so moving down into the basement, of course, this is where we keep our pythons and boas, and of course we have animals like Love to Nip here, who is just hanging out. Hey, Love to Nip, what's going on today? Don't want to get too close because Love to Nip always lives up to her name. We, of course, have all our rainbow boas on this side, including this monster gravid boa. Look at how big she is. She is ready to pop. Whoop! She's right over there about ready to take a pop at me too. So that's these girls over here that should be having babies anytime. Those are the Colombian rainbows, and of course we have the Brazilian rainbows as well. Look at how gorgeous this girl is, and again she's loaded up with babies as well. So again, we're using this Reptile Prime bedding, which is absolutely perfect for the humidity requirements for Brazilian rainbow boas. So we couldn't be happier with that right now. We have all our tree boas. We have, of course, lots and lots of ball python. We have stuff like this banana pewter ball python. Of course, this is an adult male that did some breeding this year. That is absolutely incredible. I mean, take a look at that animal right there. And these are all our ball pythons here. You know, but we don't just work with ball pythons. Sometimes I think people get the impression that we're a ball python company. And yes, we have really done a lot with ball pythons over the last 15 or 20 years. But the truth is we have tons of other animals. I already showed you the rainbow boas and of course all the colubrids and leopard geckos. But we even work with stuff like these sand boas, you know, all kinds of different sand boas. These happen to be the Johnai or the Indian smooth scale sand boas, and we have some gravid females now, so with any luck we'll have some babies anytime soon. So we work with obviously the rainbow boas, the sand boas, we work with carpet pythons, we work with Woma pythons, tree boas. Of course, one of the colubrids that we work with down here are the black-tailed crebos, and this guy is just a beastie boy here. Whew, jeez. He's my black-tailed crebo, of course, Maya's boyfriend, and we have a couple other girls that are up to size too. He is a handful. He is an amazing snake, but he has so much power. My point is that we work with all kinds of different animals, and we love ball pythons. It's certainly one of my favorite snakes, but we are not just a ball python company by far. So down here, this is really the only colubrid snake. Oh my gosh, he is really tying me up right now. This guy is absolutely energetic, and I love him to death. Oh my gosh, Rico, you gotta calm down, buddy. But we work with all kinds of different things, including some lizards down here too, which are blue-tongued skinks. All right, I gotta get Rico back or he's gonna... Whew, he gave me a run for my money for sure. What an amazing snake though. And of course we have our mangrove snakes too. Take a look at this one here. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at how beautiful that snake is right there. I mean, that is just incredible. And of course, these are a rear-fanged venomous snake, but they're a mild venom, okay? So if you do get bit, which we certainly hope we don't get bit, they have to really sink the back teeth because they're rear-fanged, and even if that's the case, you typically don't get a tremendous amount of, you know, effects other than some swelling and maybe a little nausea and stuff like that. So we don't work with anything really dangerous. But again, we work with a bunch of blue-tongued skinks as well. And we work with a few different varieties of blue-tongued skinks. Of course, this is one of my favorites for sure. This is what they call a Centralian blue-tongued skink, or a multifasciata. I mean, take a look at how gorgeous that animal is. Now, there's not a whole lot of these around, and we only have a couple of them, so hopefully with any luck down the road, we'll have some more babies. But this is one of my favorites for sure. But we also work with the Northerns, which are really one of my favorite of the skinks as well. And of course, this is just a really faded Northern blue-tongued skink right here. And we work with a lot of different color kind of anomalies of them. Not really mutations per se, but mainly line-bred or polygenic traits. Like this one here, again, is a very hypo-ish looking animal. But we also work with the stuff like these really kind of pink and red-lined animals, sunsets and sunrises, so we work with yellows and reds and all kinds of other stuff. Oh, before I move on, I wanted to show you, this is a big gravid Hypo Eastern blue-tongued skink. So again, we work with the Northerns, we work the Easterns, and we work with the Centralians as far as the Australians, and then we keep a couple Indo animals, some Key Islands, and just a few other ones that I really, really like, but for the most part, just Australian ones. But this happens to be a Hypo Eastern, which is a recessive mutation, and hopefully she's going to have babies anytime. We also have our spotted and children's pythons down here as well. You can see here's a spotted python right here. Now, the spotted pythons and children's pythons are an Antaracea, which is an Australian genus, which is made up of a handful of species, included spotted and children's pythons. And again, they're a very small animal. This is as large as they get, so they're kind of a really cool apartment-sized python, you know? Again, a little bit more active than a ball python, not quite as big as a ball python, but we keep those guys down here too, and we have a whole bunch of females about to lay eggs pretty soon. We also keep our sand boa colony down here, including Kenyan sand boas, and there's something that I've just always loved. I think I bought my first Kenyan sand boa when I was like 17 years old, and I've been kind of in love with them ever since. And we work with a handful of mutations of Kenyans as well. They're a live-bearing snake, and Kenyans can have up to, you know, the mid-20s as far as babies go, which is pretty cool. We also keep the rough-scale sand boas, which are the Conachus. Now, they're a smaller production animal, typically only getting anywhere from 5 to maybe on the high side 10 babies, but you can see they stay a little bit smaller as well. And typically, they're a little bit more snappy, to be totally honest with you, but still a really cool species of sand boas, I think. And then of course we have these guys, which are super cool. I showed you the Indian sand boas earlier. Well, these happen to be what is called a sunset Indian sand boa. So the thing about the Indian sand boas is they're born and they look kind of like this, and then as they get bigger they turn brown. Well, the sunsets stay this color, so they're still this beautiful all the way to adulthood. And then of course, lastly, on this tour of BHB would be the baby ball pythons, which are all here, this side and this side. And you can see we're starting to get empty over here just because we're about due to hatch and we're getting some new babies in now. So within no time, these racks will be completely chock full of baby ball pythons again. So anyways, I wanted to give you guys an overall view of what BHB is. That way you know which rooms I'm in and where I'm going and all that other stuff. And a real quick tour up here. Of course, you guys have seen me up here a lot of times. This, of course, is Tina's office. We also have Steph when she's in town over here, just kind of hanging out. Lori, the crab, is in his office over here. And of course, my extremely messy office is over here, filled up with all my camera stuff and all kinds of stuff. And oh, by the way, we're going to be doing a wall over here. I'm pretty excited about it. This wall over here is going to be kind of a kind of viewer submission stuff. So all your drawings and all the cool stuff we're going to hang up on this wall. So I'm pretty excited about it. Of course, we have Bella over here, Snoop Frog. We've got Karma over here. We've got Fetty Wap over there. And who knows what else is going to come in here. So basically, that's it. That is the tour for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, guys, so the original plan was after the tour was to go home and spend some time with my family, bring you guys along. But I realized that this vlog was already 15 minutes long. The family part was probably going to be another 5 to 7 minutes. So I was going to be dropping like a 22-minute vlog on you guys, and I just didn't know if that was a good idea. But let me know in the comments if you guys want 20-minute videos every now and then, because I have no problem with making them, but I didn't want to bore you guys. I figured, all right, we'll save the family family stuff, and I'll add that in maybe tomorrow's vlog or something like that, because we had some fun and I want to bring you guys along on it. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of BHB and now have a little bit more of an idea of what the mechanism of where everything is in the facility, so that when you're watching you're like, oh yeah, I understand that. So anyways, you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in. You mean the world to me. Can you do me a favor and smash that like button and hit that notification bell for me? It works every now and then at least. Make sure to be kind to somebody, and I promise I'm going to see you tomorrow.
Okay.